you.
Hydraulic system is one of the most important systems in the aircraft. Today, many of the components in the aircraft are controlled by hydraulic fluid, or in the hydraulic system, there is the flight control. The ailerons are controlled by hydraulic, the flaps are controlled by hydraulics. So we have demonstrated and we have also assimilated a hydraulic system in an aircraft. So this is a basic hydraulic system where we have just demonstrated how the aircraft system combined the components and work together to move the controls. So I have few gentlemen here, the scientists, who have really worked hard and burned the midnight oil to bring us this project. So they are going to take us through it. They're going to show us the components, the basic operation. So I start with Mr. Nazrat. You just show us how the components that compose the hydraulic system.
The components that compose is the hydraulic reservoir, where we store the hydraulic fluid.
And which type of fluid are we using in this reservoir?
We're using vegetable
Vegetable-based
hydraulic, which is golden yellow in color, as you can see through the pipe.
Mm-hmm. Then from the reservoir, where do the hydraulic fluid go?
The fluid passes through pump, which is constant.
I can also notice that we have a shut-off valve at this point. Yes. What is the main purpose of this shut-off valve?
Shut-off valve is used when you want to drain the system, but without you want to change a component without draining the reservoir.
Okay, so that is what the shut-off valve does then?
Yes, that's the main purpose.
Uh-huh.
So upon fluid passing through the pump, it goes to non-return valve.
So the non-return valve is here, and we have one of the participants, Mr. Omar. So he will tell us what this non-return valve does.
So the non-return valve sends fluid through one side. It doesn't flows back to the pump, so it just keeps on sending through here through the unloading valve. We have unloading valve because we are using a constant volume pump, so we need an unloading valve, and from the unloading valve it goes to the selector valve, and from the selector valve you select up or down to place the fowler flap.
Yeah, so you've talked of a selector valve particularly. I just want to know from one of our participants, does a selector valve do in this system?
Selector valve is like we select the direction to the fluid flow. So that's why we use that as a selector valve. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So after that, like when we use this is a three option. This is the one up, down, and one is neutral. Okay. So then this we will up and let's go this open then close. So this that the selector valve work.
Okay, Mr. Nazrat, I've also seen that we have an actuator. So just tell us what that actuator does.
It is a double acting actuator which moves the flap, and the flap that is moved is a fowler flap. Upon selecting the selector valve in one position, the actuator pushes the flap forward, which is used for creating high lift. And when you select the selector valve to the back position, it goes back to its neutral position.
So we are ready to demonstrate the operation of our system, but I would want Mr. Nazrat to explain to us how it will be working as Mr. Omar will be operating it. So Mr. Nazrat, you will be explaining as Mr. Omar will be operating it. Please.
So as he is selecting the selector valve to the deploying position, please put it in deploying position. The fowler flap moves forward, which creates high lift for the wing. And this is used during takeoff, or you can also use it during landing. And then can you put it back? So now this is in neutral position.
Can you demonstrate it once again? So when you pull it down, the flap is extended, deployed. This is a position which is used for takeoff. So this is used to increase the surface area of the wing so that you get maximum lift at takeoff. Now when you retract it back, when it is retracted back, this is the position where now you've taken off and you are in cruise. We deploy it while taking off. The reason we deploy it while taking off is because at that time the speed of the aircraft is low and we need maximum lift. So for us to get the maximum lift when the speed of the aircraft is low, the only thing we can do is to increase the surface area for maximum lift. And while landing also, we increase the surface area because we need maximum lift and to land at low speed. But once we've taken off, the flap is retracted back. So this is how the actual aircraft flap operates. So it is simulated in this particular project. So this was a wonderful project which was taken by very dedicated engineers in the future. As they have taken you through it, we have the reservoir where the fluid is kept, the pump, the check valve or the non-return valve. We have the unloading valve, and we have the selector valve and an actuator. It's a basic component that are combined together to perform the hydraulic operation of different aircraft components like the aileron, the flaps, the elevator. They all use this hydraulic.